Happy Thursday and happy Facebook Live time. My name is Melissa Kerman and my business is Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and have been a demonstrator for over 19 years. Amazing. I have a paper crafting project for you tonight. Super excited to share with you. Fairly simple, but I have multiple variations on the design, so that's always fun. And I have some announcements to share with you, things going on. So yeah, that's what's happening. I see people joining in. Hi, Robin. So good to see you here. Yay. It takes a little time for people to find me. So we did the Maker's Mojo Creative Escape this past weekend. Robin was there. Among other people. And we do this thing where we put something on our screen for the first 5 minutes so people have 5 minutes to find us. So when I do Facebook Live, it doesn't quite work that way, but it's a nice way for people to be able to find us. Hi, Laura Lee. Good to see you here. Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and launch in. I have a fun project for you, multiple variations on the same design. But I think you're going to really like it. Showing a bunch of different designer papers, very colorful design as well. So I'm glad you had fun, Robin. I'm so glad. It was a lot of fun for me. I have concluded, I've decided that my two favorite things that I do in my business are my technique classes and Maker's Mojo. It's just such a kick to have all the energy of all the people participating in the event, especially live, but before the event is also super fun. So yeah, just so much fun. Makes all the work worth it. Hi, Megan. Welcome. Good to see you here. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Tonight's project is actually my project for the Color Fusers blog hop. And I'm going to do variations on that design. A fun color scheme, which was actually a little bit more challenging for me than I expected, but I really like the end result. So you will get to see. And I'm going to do one color, a different color combination just for fun too. Hi, Elizabeth. Good to see you here. So some announcements. I got really quite a bit. Had long newsletter this week. Didn't go out till today. Usually goes out on Wednesdays, but it had so much in it, so much to prepare for it that I couldn't get it done last night. Yay. Hi, Bonnie. Wonderful. Hi, Jolene. I saw Jolene, your name go by. Just a second. All right. So celebration. So celebration is going on. You guys know you get freebies with each $50 order you place. Let's see. The items are only while supplies last. So there is one item that has definitely run out. One of my favorite items, the tree lot dies, is sold out. Some other items are looking like they are going to run out before too long. So long story short, get the things that you want sooner rather than later. Don't wait because they may run out. Now, Stampin' Up! Has also, as of August 2nd, released 10 more items that are available as a free item with your order. So there are 6 items that you can get at the $50 level and 4 more that you can get at the $100 level, a level 2 item. Those are items in the regular annual catalog. Some of them are the foil papers, which I love, some embossing folders, some dies, really great choices. All that information was in my newsletter today, but so that's super exciting, fun news to have more things to choose from. One of the items is the brushed metallic cardstock, which I absolutely adore. Beautiful colors. Hi, MJ. Good to see you here. You joined in a minute ago, just noticed now. All right, so let's see. All right, so Maker's Mojo, of course, was this weekend. It was 10 live presentations, 10 PDFs. Everybody who attended that event has access to those materials forever, really. And so we are also making it available to anybody who wants to get that content after the live. If I remember, at the end of this, I was thinking I would show you some of the projects from that Maker's Mojo. I can't show you what my other presenters showed, but I can show you some of what I shared. Super fun. We always do multiple things in each presentation. I will try to remember that. Feel free to chime in and remind me because I don't have it in my notes today. All right, so yes, the After Live is available. There will be a link in the video description below after the video is over. Let's see what else. We have a textured sheet class that I've teamed up with my Maker's Mojo Creative Escape design team members to create. Has 5 beautiful projects in it. There are 2 options. My preference is that you get the option with the kit. It includes some product, but it's a really good deal. So you get about $28 worth of product as if you were purchasing it on a prorated basis, because it's not full packs of everything. And the cost of the class is $38. So it's a great deal, and it's a great way to get pre-cut materials in the mail. Makes it super easy to create your projects. It includes, like I said, some product with it. So some designer paper, some of the gold distressed foil paper. It's called gold distressed paper. It's not called foil, actually. What else goes with it? What else goes with it? Slipping my mind right at this very minute. It's on the flyer, which is going to be linked in the video description also. So check that out. It's a great class, great project. The textured chic suite is gorgeous. Let's see what else. Technique classes. So I launched in my newsletter today all the information about the that I have for the technique classes that are coming up for the second half of the year. So I do classes in August, October, and December. The August class is the Impressions of Tarnished Foil, which is my very own signature technique that I came up with some years ago. Love it. So I'm sort of revisiting it. I'm going to do some new projects and a little bit of some new twists on at least one of the projects. And they're always different. So super fun. So that's coming up at the end of August. And then now is also the time when you can sign up for a subscription or a club. And when you do either of those 2 things, you're basically committing in one form or other to all 3 classes up front. Now, I do have the subjects for each of the 3 classes also decided. That's in my newsletter. But they are Impressions of Tarnished Foil for August. And I'm probably going to say this wrong, the order. I won't say the order. One of them is called Serigraph. There was a little sneak peek in my newsletter, just a little snippet of what I've played with. So it's not at all representative of the end result, because it's just a small little bit and just the beginnings of my playing with it. And then the other technique is faux leather, which is just gorgeous. So much fun. So those are going to be really fun classes coming up. So if you're interested in a subscription is basically you're just paying a fee for the class. You can either pay a fee and get the kit, or you can pay a fee and just get the electronic materials. Different prices for each, of course. A club is a way to get the classes for free when you purchase a certain amount of product. So you commit to purchasing product, you get the class for free, there's no shipping cost to you, etc., and you automatically get it. And at the end of the club cycle, you get some free product from me that you get to pick. So it's lots of good options. Again, those will all be in the video description and in my newsletter. And let me know if you have questions. All right, that is it for my announcements, as if it's not enough, right? So I'm going to turn the camera down. Before I do, I have a question for all of you guys, completely off topic. It's summertime. Lots of you probably have gardens, flowers, or vegetables. What's growing in your garden? Comment and let me know. I'm going to turn the camera down and you're going to see one of the things that I harvested from my garden. Now, I only have a very tiny little garden. It's very hot and humid here, so I have pretty much like that much patience, almost none, to go out in the heat and garden. My husband does all the watering. I plant in the spring and then I kind of leave it up to him. But we have some beautiful produce that that I just picked today, or my husband picked it today, because I'm going to make something with it. I'm going to turn the camera on so you can look at them. Okay, here we go. I see somebody, Robin, is growing tomatoes. Oh, homegrown tomatoes are the best. Okay, there it is. Anybody know what they are? I'm sure some of you know what those are. Now, usually they're kind of a dark, rich green, but we let them ripen a little bit because I haven't been really available to cook. I've been too busy. But are those not beautiful? Does anyone know what they are? Just a quick guess. I mean, obviously there are kinds of peppers, but I don't see anybody guessing, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it as I pause. These are, yes, peppers. They are poblano peppers. They're the kind that usually you use for chili rellenos. And I'm going to actually make gosh, I can't talk. I'm going to make chili rellenos. It's a kind that has zucchini in it and cheese and corn. It's actually really good and spicy. Anyway, I love Mexican food. So They are just beautiful, beautiful peppers. I love them. I'm so happy for them. Okay, so if you go look up my textured sheet class, oh, I'm glad you think so, Julia. Yes, you have a Scotch. Yes, well, I have never grown Scotch bonnet, but those were poblanos. And then, oh, I forgot the other one. That one is a habanero. Oh, Megan, I would count on you for yes, for growing wonderful things. Tomato, basil, cucumbers, raspberries, currants, and flowers. How lovely. Well, we have basil too. I have some parsley, but this is a habanero, like one of the hottest peppers you can grow. And I love cucumbers from the garden, green beans. We have a few green beans. Our green beans didn't do very well this year. Anyway, I digress. So many fun things. It's such a great thing to do, to have a garden and harvest produce right from your yard. All right, so this is the flyer. If you click on the link in the description, it will give you the full description of what goes in there. You do need the texture sheets bundle for it. That's not included in the class, but you can choose it as an add-on. So you'll see that flyer and all the details. And these are the new celebration items that are available. My favorite, timber 3D embossing folder. What else is in there that I especially love? Yes, the brushed metallic foils, the silver specialty foil. I love this one. The last technique class, I used these dies. So any of you who participated in my Creative Play with Adhesives technique class last month, if you haven't gotten this, now you can maybe get it for free. Super fun. Okay, so moving right along. Okay, there's my host code for the day and the announcements. Just I'll put that in every once in a while to keep things going. Okay, so here's the project that was on my website on Monday. This is oh, I have to read people's comments on what they're growing. So fun. Watermelon. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I've never grown a watermelon. They are wonderful dies, the aspen tree dies. So this is my Color Fusers project. The color scheme is Mossy Meadow, Mint Macaron, Pacific Point, which is the color of the card base, and Highland Heather. Now, I thought this color scheme would be a piece of cake. I kind of struggled with it a little bit, but color scheme is one of the ways to kind of design as a starting point. Color scheme is one of the ways that I use. Now, I also went and found this layout. I cased this, and it's kind of like a sketch challenge, right? When you see somebody's layout that you like, and then you make it your own with your own products. So I kind of combined color scheme with sort of sketch challenge to come up with this design. So that is, we're going to make a variation of that today. Now, the designer papers that I used for the project you just saw are these wonderful black and white designs in the mini catalog. These papers are just so versatile. Now, they're in the Halloween section, but you can use them for all kinds of things, right? So this side has sort of the white to it, and then the back sides are a little bit darker, but all sort of the same patterns, but really fun, versatile patterns. I love this paper, and I love playing with black and white papers because, or neutral papers, because they're just really easy to design with and add color to. So that's what I did on my design. I'm going to show you the other papers, yes, that I'm using too. Okay, so I made also a version that we're going to actually make with these papers. These are called penciled, oh, I knew I was going to forget. What are they called? Perfectly penciled. I knew there was a pencil in there. Beautiful florals, right? Just so pretty, all black and white. So the remake that I'm going to do tonight uses some of these papers, really different look from the first papers that I just showed you. So you can see I've cut into some of them. So that's what we're going to use first. Let's go ahead and jump in. So the products that I'm using for this project, aside from the paper, is this adorable set called Alpha Best. And it comes as a bundle with this cute little punch. Now, I don't usually use kind of letters in my cards, you know, I'll use sentiments or whatever, but I don't usually piece together letters. People typically think of this as, you know, something for scrapbooking, but it's so good for cards, and I just love how the little itty bitty letters fit right onto those punched out pieces. And there's all kinds of different patterns you can use in behind, or frames, and then different symbols, the flowers. So I haven't even skimmed the surface of what's in here. This has 73 stamps in it. Isn't that crazy? 73. They're all little tiny stamps, of course. Now I'm also going to be using the flower path and these tailor-made dies. So those are the main products that I'm using for the projects. So let's go ahead and start with getting some color added to our piece. So I'm going to use this piece. I've got it on a piece of my release paper so that I can do my coloring, but it already has adhesive on it. And unlike this one, I am going to go rogue and do a different color scheme. Now, 3 of my designs are the same color scheme I just showed you. But I always like to mix it up. Just keeps it fun and fresh. So for this one, I'm going to use the 2 same greens, Mint Macaron and Mossy Meadow. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you here. And Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to bring in yellow. So it's going to be a really different look. Did that on purpose because, why not? So we're going to start with the greens, doing the greens towards the bottom. And I'm starting with my light, my Mint Macaron, which is a really light green. So it's always good, especially if you're going to use the same blending brush, to start with the lighter color. And I can be generous with how much I do and then go over it with some of the dark. Now, this paper would be gorgeous hand colored in, but I'm going to do the easy and quick method here. So I like to start off the page, of course, so if there's any blobby blobs of ink, those little blobs won't get onto my beautiful paper. So you can see I'm just using a swirling motion to get my green on there. Now, isn't that pretty? Just like that. I just love it. And I love these blending brushes. So much fun. So I'm going to do about, maybe I'll just do about half right there. I'm going to set that one aside. And now I'm going to bring in the Mossy Meadow. Now, I would never put Mint Macaron and Mossy Meadow together on my own. And this is one of the things I love about color challenges. I would invite you to join us for the color challenge. Now, we went live on Monday for the color challenge. We always go live the first Monday of the month. It's a very talented group of women who are the designers for those projects. We have people from all over the world. New Zealand, the UK, where else? Canada. We have 2 of the artisan design team members, Stampin' Up! Artisan design team members on there. And we go live the first Monday of the month, starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So I encourage you to check that out and use that inspiration. And everybody always comes up with something completely different. Like, people come up with things that just surprise me, and you would never even know it's the same color scheme, but it is. So fun, right? So check it out. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with my yellow. This is Daffodil Delight, very bright, cheerful yellow. Again, I'm coming off the page. Now, I got this. I'm going to fold that over. Then I can go in on this edge, because I do like to have my edge be extra dark. That's just a thing. It sort of frames it to me. And I'm not necessarily going for like a realistic look here. It's not like I'm creating a sky or anything. So I'm going to press really hard against the edge to get some nice dark color along the edge, and then just kind of barely press when I get to the middle, because I want it to stay really light. Allow that transition in the middle to be soft and pretty. Trying to see these flowers as some being upright and some being, I don't know, upright. There is no upright. Okay. I think I got as much color as I want on there. Maybe just a little bit more. I do often, unless I want like a real white in the middle, it's a really nice option to go over the center line where 2 colors meet, because oftentimes you'll make a 3rd color in the middle. And maybe I just want it to be light in the middle, so I'm not going to do that on this one. But I'll show you another one that I did where that was worked really well. Okay, got my ink pads all done. Now, isn't that pretty? I think that's going to be so pretty. Okay. Yellow is one of those colors I don't go to as often as some others, but it's a fun, bright, cheerful one. Okay, so now I have taken one of the other papers from this same pack, so penciled, something penciled, whatever it was, perfectly penciled. I think that was what it was, the designer paper. This is one of the other patterns, and I've colored it same method with Mossy Meadow and Mint Macaron. So that's going to be my tag piece. And I need to stamp and punch some of the letters. So now I did Happy Birthday on this one, as you can see. I used the birthday from the Wildflower Path. For this one, I'm going to do thanks, or I'm going to do thank you. Speaking of you, right? Let's see, let's get my colors out here. So I've got my Memento black ink, and I'm using just the outline shape from one of the stamps in there in the set. And I actually, I'm trying to remember which way I like to do it. I can't even remember. It doesn't really matter either way. You can do the outline first and the letter in the inside, or vice versa. Let's try this one this way, and then we can see which I'll remind myself which one I like. So let's see, did I do any other letters? I think I did. I think I did 2 of the green letters. Ah, there it is. So I got my T, and then my H is going to be in the Daffodil Delight. Let's see if I can get that reasonably positioned there. Sometimes a really small space is easier to stamp with centered than a large piece. Okay, and now I have one more letter in my thank, and that's the A. And I'm going to do that on my Mossy Meadow. So let's do it the reverse this time. See if I decide one way is better than the other. So there's my A. Now we'll do the outline. I think it really doesn't matter one way or the other. They all work. Both work just fine. All right, let's get our little punch now. This adorable little punch. Welcome, Kimmy. I'm glad you made it. All right, so we're just going to look at it on the upside down position so that I can center it around the outside edge. And I'm going to pinch it so that I can see that in there. It looks pretty good. Who likes it when it just pops up like that? It's kind of fun. I've had people tell me they especially like that. Something satisfying about it popping out of the punch. As long as you don't lose it somewhere on your table, right? So I was working with some mini black dimensionals the other day, and a funny thing happened. I took a picture of it, actually, because I decided I didn't need to use them. So I put them back on their little thing, but they were sticky on both sides. And I'm working away, and then at some point I looked down at my hand, and I've got 3 little black mini dimensionals like here on my hand. It was so funny. It just cracked me up. It doesn't take much to make me laugh. All right, so now we got our letters, and that's actually an N. There we go. It's going to be like that. Now I need dimensionals on the back side. Speaking of dimensionals. Got my little mini black ones. These are the perfect size. And I especially love using my paper piercing tool for that because it just gives me so much control in what I'm doing. And then it's also good for taking the backings off. All right, before we do that, I got one more step. Got some ribbon here, and got 2 pieces of ribbon. Now I'm going to color these ribbons with some Blends alcohol markers. So I'm going to use the 2 greens. So I've got my Mint Macaron, light and dark, and my light and dark Mossy Meadow. And I think I used the dark mint and the light Mossy Meadow. So there we go. Now on this piece here, I actually colored that background piece with the 3 different colors of blends. So the Mint Macaron and Mossy Meadow, both light and dark, so I did like those gradations of color, did the same thing on there. And then I did this, the same thing with Highland Heather with the light and the dark, and then a little bit more of the green over there. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna color the ribbon, of course, and one of them is gonna be the dark Mint Macaron. And this is my favorite ribbon to color. Now before Stampin' Up! Came up with the Blends alcohol markers, I would color them with just ink, you know, with put them in some diluted ink or spray some ink on. But the Blends alcohol markers are so much better because they pretty much dry instantly. So you get a colored ribbon without the ink getting on your fingers, without having to wait for it to dry. This is pretty much dry in like, I don't know, 30 seconds or something. And these, what was I going to say? This ribbon in particular, because it doesn't have really much fiber to it, it's very thin and pliable. It takes the ink really well. It also doesn't, you know, damage the tips of your Blends alcohol markers because it's so soft and supple. So there's multiple reasons. I love this crinkled seam binding for that ribbon. I mean, oh my goodness, for that reason. Getting my R words mixed up. Okay, so now I'm just gonna fold that in half. And I'm gonna, actually before I do that, I have one more step. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now in the set of these dies, the tailor-made dies, there are these nice little finishing touches. Now the rounded ones are sort of made for these. The one with the straight edge fits on these. On this card, I use the one with the straight edge right there at the end. And for the one I'm making now, I'm using the rounded. And so now I have put a little bit of adhesive on the back side of this. I did my white glue trick where I put it on, leave it for whatever, 5-10 minutes. Hi, Christy. Good to see you here. And then it's so you see it's shiny, but I can touch it with my finger and I don't have to worry about it getting gloppy glue on my finger or on my piece. So we're going to go ahead and just attach that. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but of course you have lots of tags and you've got 3 of this size of reinforcer and 4 of that one. So if you're making multiple tags, say for Christmas or something, for some occasion, you don't have to do it one at a time. So there we go. So that's the Mint Macaron. On the top is more the mint color. All right, so now we can do our ribbon. So I'm just going to pinch it up at the end, squeeze it, and I've got adhesive on the back side of this again, but take it off of there just for this part. So getting it to be small enough to go through the hole is what I'm doing now. Okay, and now I'm going to open it up, make a little hole there. And then I'm going to take all 4 of my ends and push them through. Grab them with my finger. Okay, so now the reinforcer is a good thing here, right? Because I have to gently pull, but not as gently as if I didn't have the reinforcer in there. And again, sometimes a little easier to pull one ribbon piece at a time. That's the other nice thing about this ribbon is it's just so easy to work with. It's not big and bulky like some ribbons. So there we go. And then I'm just going to snip off the ends. Now I don't want them to stick off too far off the edge, so I am going to snip off a bunch. And we'll see how that fits when I put it on the card, but that should be okay. All right. I need my little baby garbage pail there. All right, so I'm just going to put that back on this piece while I assemble the other elements. All right, so now how do I want these to be? I'm just going to kind of make them sort of whimsical on there. And I do have one more thing to do before I can actually assemble this. Now, notice it just says thank, right? So I need my U. Now, I could have done my U in these same style letters, but I wanted to do it a little bit differently. So I took one of my sentiments from the Wildflower Path, and I'm going to use the little U from thank you. Notice it says thank you, right? It has both words. So I'm going to grab a Post-it note, a little one cut in half actually, and I'm just going to cover up the thank portion. Bring in my memento again, and I'm going to ink it up with the Post-it note on there. Now the important part is to remember to take the Post-it note off before you stamp. I have been known to forget. And then I've got a piece of white cardstock here. It's just a real thin piece. I want to say it's 1/2 inch, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. But I think it's 1/2 inch. I'm just going to stamp it right on there. And then I want to add some color to this one. And I think I'm going to add the mint macaron because the mossy meadow might just blend in too much. I could do yellow too. Maybe I should do yellow. Let's see. Yellow, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use my blending brush. Now, I intentionally didn't cut this down because I knew that it would be hard to get some ink on there. On the one of the other versions that I did, I'll show you in a bit, I cut it down and I was holding onto the tiny little piece of paper while I was trying to add some color. Now, as I mentioned on my original design, this one, I used my Blends alcohol markers. And actually, that's what I was going to do on this. I just remembered. Oh, well. Yeah, I'll just do this yellow. You know what? I do want to use blends. Where did they go? Because I haven't used the blends on paper today, so let's do that. So I got my light and my dark, and I'm just going to start with my light, the fat tip end. This will be super fast, right? And I'm going to go over the whole thing. Now this is part of why I used the memento, because that's the ink you want to use. You have to use memento with blends. Otherwise it interacts with the ink. Can't use a water-based ink. Okay, let's see what we got there. I want to make sure I get some gradations of color there. It's kind of subtle. But let's just go over it some more at the bottom. More ink. Now I can see it. And if I want to make it a little bit more dramatic, I can bring in my color lifter and remove a little bit of the ink from the top and blend it a little bit more at the bottom. So there we go. That's a little bit more to my liking. Okay, what are you guys thinking of this yellow and green color scheme? Mint Macaron, Mossy Meadow, and Daffodil Delight. And you know I'm going to ask you which color scheme you like better. Because, you know, inquiring minds want to know. All right, let's grab a glue dot. And my little U is going to go right at the end, bottom corner of my tag. Just like that. And then I'm just going to kind of get these in position where I want them. Kind of want this whimsical kind of look. Just noticed I don't have a dimensional on the back of my last letter. And I do want them all popped up. I want them all at the same level. It would be fine to not do that, but that's just what I feel like. All right, so got them in place. Now I just gotta tack them down where I want them. Yellow and blue mood. Ah, that's fun. What are you guys thinking about this Alphabest set? Did you even notice it in the catalog is my question. I think it's really cute. Let's see. Okay, there's my little tag. All right, we're in the home stretch on this one. Now, I hadn't decided what I was going to do for my card base. You're going to get to decide on that with me too. Help me decide. Might be really obvious, but we'll look at it together. So let's get our designer paper piece on its black backing. Oh, it's on your to get list, Rita? Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's not hidden. People are noticing it. I think it's really cute. Okay. And don't forget the punch. All right, let's take a quick look at these three different color options. So these are the three colors: Mint Macaron, Mossy Meadow, and Daffodil Delight. And of course, I got it on its backing. Let's see if where did I put that other one? Darn. Put it down somewhere. Okay, so we're just going to look this way. So there it is on the Mint Macaron. Okay, so I'm going to put it more towards the middle. Can you guys see? There it is on the yellow. I don't know if you can see well enough. You have several alphabet sets, but you never use them. I know, but there's something about this one, for me, that is just so cute. Okay, you guys going to tell me what you think? Yeah, your set is really cute. Yes, it is. It is really cute. How can you not like it? Okay, I know what okay, this is what I want to do. I want to put this on the back so that I can more easily show you guys, put it down so you can actually see. You like the daffodil, the mint? Okay, got a daffodil and a mint vote. The Mossy Meadow is very dark. Oh, and Jolene, you like the Mossy Meadow. Oh my goodness, you guys aren't going to make this easy on me, are you? Okay, let's bring it up to the screen. Mossy Meadow. It's pretty dark. Yellow, second choice is moss. Wow. You guys are all over the place. That's going to make it really hard. Okay, let's put the tag in there and see how that changes things. The tag. I don't know, the yellow, it's very bright. The only thing about the Mossy Meadow is it's very, it's so dark that it kind of gets lost in there a little bit. Gosh, you guys. You keep saying all kinds of different responses. Yeah, the Mossy Meadow makes it blends in a lot more. And, okay, the base half moss, half daffodil. Okay, well, now you're really getting difficult. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we're just going to go with the Mossy Meadow. Maybe that's the last thing I saw is lots of Mossy Meadow votes. Okay, so let's go ahead and put it on there. I was going to do the yellow at the top. I am sort of thinking of the yellow as being like the sky, you know, sunset-ish. Not that it fits with the designer paper, but, you know, doesn't really matter. Okay, am I forgetting anything? No, I think I'm set. I think this is my last thing. Okay, so I have one other thing. So now, this is just designer paper, of course, so it is kind of flimsy. And I always like to have dimension. I have dimension, of course, in the letters, but I kind of wanted to have my tag popped up just a little bit, but not as much as dimensionals. And, you know, I could have done glue dots, but then you have to put a ton of them on the back. So what I decided to do for this one, and I think it's a really nice sort of compromise, is to take just some scrap pieces of cardstock. This is, you know, just black cardstock, which won't show or anything. And then just, I have adhesive on the back sides of each, and I'm just going to layer them up. So I'm going to end up having 3 layers of cardstock, and instead of a dimensional or glue dots, I'm just going to use the thickness of my cardstock. So that's going to go on the back side. And again, I've got adhesive on the back of the tag already. And so now I'm just set to put it on there. Okay, I already attached this, but now I'm curious how it looks that way. I guess I just got to do it that way. All right. I always like to look and see how different things look. So there is my alternative color scheme version. There we go. What do you guys think? Okay, so here's the original design, and there is the remake in the new color scheme. Okay, Lynn, what was the great tip? Now I can't remember. Oh, the layers of black. I guess that's probably what you meant. So yeah, just very different, right? Now you might also notice, so I've used the 2 different tag styles from the TaylorMade tags. This one on the left is one of these, the biggest one, and the one which is a little bit smaller than that one. And then the one on the right is this largest one over here. You love the green and yellow? You love them both, Kimmy? Wonderful. So fun. Okay, so now I did a couple of other variations which I wanted to show you. One of them with the celebration paper. So this is the silver and gold specialty paper. Well, I guess it's specialty because it's shiny and embossed. So this is the gold stripes. You can see it, and the dots, the silver stripes, silver dots. You get 24 pieces in a pack, and this is one of the level 1 items. So I wanted to try to make a version with this because it doesn't have any black in it, but I thought it might be fun to play with. So, so this is what I came up with. I've used the same size tag as is on here. So for the stripes here, and then I got the gold in the background. Now probably, I don't know, maybe silver would have been a better fit, but I think the gold's okay. It's neutral enough. So, you know, just a different alternative. It's very much similar to this one in the general sense. This one's a little bit more dramatic, but, you know, just another option and an idea for how to use this kind of neutral paper. The background coloring was the same colors as this one. So Mossy Meadow, the Mint Macaron, and then the Pacific Point moving up the top. Oh, you like the gold? It's festive? Yeah. Make it into a Christmas version, right? Could be Merry Christmas, and that could be snowflakes. It might be better with the silver snowflakes, but you know, artistic rendition, right? It could be gold snowflakes. Why not? All right, and then I have one other version to show you. And where did it go? It's out here somewhere. Oh, yes. Okay. And now this one isn't put together 100% because there was something I wanted to show you on it as well. So for this one, I used one of the smaller tags, and this designer paper here is from this same pack. So the penciled, what is it called? Something penciled. Why can I never remember that? Perfectly penciled. You'd think I'd be able to remember that word perfectly. And of course I did love and love you on that. So I thought that was kind of fun. And it's a smaller piece, and I did that on purpose. So here's a piece of just regular cardstock sponged or using the blending brush the same way, same color scheme, the Mossy Meadow, the Mint, and the Pacific Point. But I also played around on the back side this was actually the first thing I did, was I played around on the back side. What time is it? Do I have time? Do you guys want to see one more thing? Comment and let me know. I have one more thing to show you if you want to stick around for a little bit longer. See if I get a piece of paper. Give you guys a chance to respond. Anybody want to see another thing? Ooh, deep purples, oranges, and greens for Halloween. That sounds fun. That sounds very fun. Okay, like I'm going to give you a choice, you know? I'm just going to do it anyway. Because I want to show you. Okay, so I decided it would be really fun to take some of the images from the Wildflower Path and play with those. So bring the black into it, the black that I have on this designer paper on this one, with stamped images. So why not, right? So I grabbed 3 of the images from this set. I'm using this stem right here with these flowers that nest over the top, and then this one right here, which does have little flowers or something that go over the top, but I like it just by itself also. So that's what I'm going to use here. So a memento again. I could have used, well, no, I wouldn't want to use StazOn because I'm using photopolymer. So I'm using my memento so I don't stain my photopolymer stamps. And then I'm going to just bring this image right in there. I want it to be close to the top. And then I've got 2 of my smaller ones I'm going to put off to the side. And then I'm going to put another one of the one with the flowers off here to the left, a little bit lower down. Ooh, darn it. Okay, the beauty of photopolymer. Can I go right over the top? I think I can. Ooh, not too bad. Not too shabby there. We love our photopolymer. Okay, and just one more in there. Okay. So, of course, with the designer paper, you give yourself a jump start, but images are fun to play with too, right? So now this little image here nests right over the top of the larger of the 2 stems. And let's see. So I just want to show you, you've got that spot, this one, and then the top one. So there's 4. So, and you really want to, if anything, overlap a little bit rather than having it just above it, so that it doesn't look like it's floating above your flower. Now this is a little bit hard to do on camera because I can't get quite right over it, but I'm going to do my best. And so I'm just trying to line up the bottom of each of those flowers with those 4 spots I just pointed out. Not too shabby. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. This was actually, was this in a mini? I think it was in the mini, the January to June mini. And I was so happy that it carried over because I just love these images. So I'm going to leave these ones as is. Like I said, there is another stamp that goes over the top, but I really don't think it's necessary. Isn't that pretty? Pretty. Okay, so now we've got some other pieces here. I'm going to use my Pacific Point base, and yes, got adhesive on the back of my black. I've also got it on the front. Being tricky here. Or sneaky or whatever. Okay, now here's where the fun begins. You get to decide on something too. So there, you would think it's done, right? But guess what? We have another choice. So I did the backside. So this was the first thing I sponged. And then I was thinking maybe it was just too much color. But I actually think it's really pretty. Sometimes you just have to step away from things in order to really appreciate what they look like. So this was the second one I did, but I stamped on this side as well. So now we get to decide which one we like better. So again, same inking, but here I pulled in the Highland Heather, and of course the Pacific Point, and the Mint Macaron, and the Mossy Meadow. And as you can see here, this is what I was talking about earlier. When you use your blending brushes and you go over where two colors are juxtaposed, you get another color. So this is kind of a different color, right? It's not Pacific Point and it's not the Mint Macaron. It's a blend of the two, and it's just a lovely aspect of using the blending brushes. So now we get to decide which one we want to use. I don't know. I think it's pretty, to me, yeah. This one's just simpler, right? But let's look at it with the tag on it. Okay, so I got my piece there. So there's the one. Let's see. So there's that. And I wanted the tag to be smaller just because I had those really pretty images in there. So there's that version. Yes, Christy voted purple. Tracy's voting purple. Or Heather. Kimmy's voting purple. I am a purple girl. You guys know I love purple. Now this is more subtle, right? You look more at the tag than at the background, but I can't help but I don't want to cover that up, right? Okay, we're going with the purple. I think we got a unanimous vote here. I don't know that, well, somebody said they liked both, but let's just do the purple. Oop, no. So I have, of course, adhesive on the black. Let's see, get that in there. I almost hate to cover it up with the tag, but I'm going to do it because that's so cute, right? Love you. Yes. Okay. Do that and fan out my little pieces of ribbon. I did the ribbon colors the same on this one, so the Mossy Meadow and the Mint Macaron. So there we go. Kind of fun, huh? Purple People Eaters. Anyone remember that? Huh. It sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't say that I can't say that I know what it is. Maybe somebody else will chime in and say they do. Purple side gives more depth. Yes, I think that's a astute observation there. So anyway, there you go. There's my 4 versions of my card. Do you have a favorite? Of course, this was my original. And then, let's see, made that one second. I guess that would be third and fourth. Fun, huh? Maybe I'll have to do a post and ask you what your favorite is, because they're all pretty different. So I always like to talk a little bit about design. And at the beginning, I mentioned that color scheme is a great place to start when you're designing, or a sketch challenge like a layout, which is, I got the color scheme, of course, from Color Fusers, and then the layout from something I saw on Pinterest. But I always think it's fun when I start with an idea and to kind of see how the ideas progress as you pull in different products. So I think this is a really good example of how, you make one thing and then it kind of merges into another idea, which merges into another, and you can end up with all kinds of fun things. The last one is your favorite, Robin? Yeah. Where's the alphabet set found? Well, isn't it in the annual catalog? I think it's in the annual catalog. No, maybe it's in the July to December. I don't know. I'm not even sure now. I have to look it up, but I can do that. Let's do it. I'm going to look in the annual and see if it's here. And if it's not here, then we know it's in the other catalog. Yeah, there it is. Alphabest, page 115 of the catalog. There we go. Pretty fun. So, yeah. And this one, they did a lot of stamping in the background, just all those images. And then that's really cute with just a little high. You can see how they use some of those other images in there, the background images and the punch. Super cute. So much fun. All right. Let's go ahead and finish up. And I'm going to go and grab my Maker's Mojo projects, if anybody wants to see them. I don't even think I'm going to ask because I have a feeling you might like to see them. So 1 second. Give me a second over here. Okay. I'm going to do a quick little pass through of these. This is a lot of different projects. One of the things we do at Maker's Mojo is we always do multiple designs for a given class theme, so that we can show people the potential of how they might remake a given design with what they have. So the goal is not to get you to buy everything that we have used, but more to get you inspired to create with what you have. Now, you might be inspired to buy things that we use as well, but that's not necessarily the goal. So, okay, so 2 things, right? So I mentioned, I'm also going to talk about the textured sheet class. I'm going to show you just my version of, my contribution to the class. And again, you won't see the ones of my other teammates, but there is a sneak peek in the on the flyer as well. So I'm going to move these guys aside. I will take pictures of these and have them on my website. There is already pictures of this one because it was my Monday blog post, but I will be adding those other designs to it so you'll be able to see them with dimensions. So I'm going to do this pretty quick. You enjoyed the Maker's Mojo? I'm so glad, Julia. Wonderful. Okay, so quick pass over. Isn't that pretty? That's my contribution for the textured sheet class. I know it was fast. I have done a couple other variations. I'm going to show you those guys too. They're not in the PDF, but you'll get to see them here. So I did a version with white snowflakes. Now, one of the things that's fun about the textured sheet suite or the bundle is that it has every season in there of the year. So we have projects in there. There's 5 projects altogether. One, I think there's actually 2 with snowflakes and 1 for each of the other seasons. And in case you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the Season of Chic stamp set and the dies that go with it. So lots of fun. And the designer paper is just stunning. So many textures and just beautiful. So the subject of my first class for Maker's Mojo, and again, the After the Live is available. My first was a fun fold, so I'm going to show you quick. I think I showed you this, but I didn't show you the inside, or it wasn't even finished. So there's my inside. So do this fast. This one was a stepped up version. Some dies on the front. And then I did 2 variations of that layout. Again, this is to inspire you. Okay, those are my dimensions. Not too fun, but cute. This is one of the celebration items. And then this one, this is so adorable. Christmas Express, I think, is the suite. I attached the ribbon just because it would be fun, but it's a different take on the same layout, just oriented a different way. And that is the Christmas Express paper and the, what is it called? The stamp set that goes with the tree lot dies, but it's the stamp set in the catalog. Somebody knows it. It's like slipping my mind. Trees for Sale. It's called Trees for Sale, yeah. Okay, so my next presentation, this was my major project, the one I demonstrated. Did a different version with pink. And then there's another one. I know I'm going fast. This is one I showed with textured chic. And then I did one while we were live. I actually made that behind the scenes so I'd have another sample to show because it was something I played with. All right, enough. I showed you lots of sneak peeks. So fun, right? I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my sneak peeks. So if you are more inclined to doing the live class, the live Maker's Mojo, you can wait until our fall event. If you don't want to do the after the live option, you get all the same content with the after the live. You just don't get prizes and the fun of being live and all that sort of thing. But it's a lot of amazing content that's sort of wrapped up in a nice little neat bow with the PDFs and the videos. And if you do the After the Live, you get it all at once, all right away. So when you pay for it, there's a link in your email after you've paid for it with all of the content, links to all the content. So it's pretty amazing. So that's a benefit, right? Because then you don't have to wait for anything if you want to see it all right away. And again, that link will be in the description of the video, along with the Textured Chic link for that class. The deadline for Textured Chic is August 12th, if I didn't say that earlier. You love the bright green one? Oh, yes, the Christmas one. I had to do a Christmas design, right? I know it's a little bit early, but lots of people do Christmas in July. So we have, something for all the seasons in the event. And of course, in mine, what did I have? I had fall, I had winter, Christmas. Did I have spring and summer? Well, the other ones are more neutral. Yeah, anyway. I like it when I do multi-seasonal. Multi-seasonal is fun. All right, so what else? Don't forget about celebration. Get those things before they're gone. Take advantage of the 10 new things you can get. And definitely check out my Tarnished Foil Technique class and or the subscription or club option. I would love to have more people sign up for the club. Of course, you get free product at the end of the club cycle, and you get the classes for free when you sign up for club. You commit to purchasing a certain amount of product each club month. So that's kind of how that works. But all the details are on my website, and of course, several links in the video description of this video. Alrighty, am I forgetting anything? Probably. The next time I will go live is 2 weeks from tonight, August 18th. And oh, I forgot to mention, so Maker's Mojo, we are doing an early bird special for the October event. So we have already had our debrief meeting from the event this past weekend and decided on dates for our October event. So it's October 21st and 22nd. And starting next Tuesday, we're gonna have a 1-week window where people can sign up early and get entered into an early bird drawing. So it will only be from August 9th through the 16th that you can take advantage of early bird. We're also doing a referral bonus drawing. We did it for the last one. So when you refer somebody who signs up, you, not the person who signs up, but you, you have to sign up too, of course, but you will get entered into a drawing for the following event for free. Okay, so $45 value because Maker's Mojo is $45. Lots of content for that $45. But during the early bird window, we're going to give people double entries if they refer people who join us, who actually sign up during the early bird window. So just kind of a little incentive to get the word out there, spread the word. They're such fun events, so I really hope some of you will join us, or all of you will join us for the October event. Alrighty, I think that's gonna do it for me. Wrap me up, and if you guys have questions, comments, suggestions, anything, always love to hear from you guys. And I will see you online. I will check out all the comments after I get off, and make sure to check out the video description for any of the links that you might be interested in checking out. And check out my blog post on Saturday when it goes live. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Mwah. Happy crafting. I hope you're inspired to create. You're welcome. Glad to have you all here.